Beautiful shot there.
Oh, wow. Stop it, please.
Welcome to the beautiful coastal town of Gandia in Spain and the semi-finals of the Little Monster Women's International Open. Part of the Predator Pro Billiard Series, 10 ball is the game. And let's welcome our first semi-finalists on table 2. Firstly, from the United Kingdom, Kelly Fisher. And representing Austria, Jasmine Ocean. And here on table 1, from Chinese Taipei, Wei Zhuqian. And her opponent, from Korea, SEOA. The matches are the best of 3 sets, with each set the first to 4. In the event of the final set reaching 3-all, we go to a shootout. Your referees in charge of the action on table 1, Bojana Bandas of Serbia, and on table 1, Simonas Indrasias of Lithuania. Players, you may lag for the break.
Well, bienvenida and welcome to all the pool fans joining us from across the world for this Little Monster Ladies International Open semi-final. A big thank you to Luke for the great introduction to our players here. My name is Gethin Davis, and joining me in the commentating box for this thrilling outset is my good friend and colleague Tim de Ruyter. Welcome, Tim. It's semi-final time, sir.
Thanks, Geth. And yeah, definitely what a matchup we have. Both very usual suspects in the later stages of the tournaments, and I'm just very excited to see what we're gonna get today. So definitely played very good yesterday against Chiu Cho to make it to this semi-final. That one was on the stream, so definitely had to peek a little bit here and there.
Yeah, and Xiao in her last 2 wins taking out Chinese Taipei players. Chu Qinwei is the next one to stand in her way, and both players keen to make the final of this Little Monster Ladies International Open. The final will be also taking place later today, and the projected time would be about 5 hours from now. So these players will be looking to put the show on now. We have 2 tables of both semi-finals being streamed to you. On the other table, as Luke alluded to, a matchup between the UK's Kelly Fisher and Jasmine Ocean, as we now get our semi-final underway. Way to break.
So to break the balls. Let's see if she can make the 1 ball in the side. Just barely missed it. Made a 4. But look at the cue ball. Oof. But first look at the table, quite the mess, Kath.
Yeah, making a ball off the break. The cut break looked forever and a day that the 1 was going. The 2 was also tracking towards the centre pocket. And in turn, the cue ball got a bit of a kick down into that corner pocket. Tricky opener, But making balls off the break is a promising sign, Tim.
Yeah, the 1, 2 and the 3 ball were in the open, so definitely some time to work something out. And this is interesting. She's looking at cutting the 2, running the cue ball into the 7, trying to open things up, as she most likely has something on the 3 ball. But she did shy away from that option. Could play maybe for a cross-side bank on the 5 ball, but not with this angle on the 3 ball.
Yeah, it's a tricky little cluster there. It would have been very aggressive for her to attempt to open that up off the blue too, but it certainly was there, Tim. Quite well picked out.
Well, she might be playing for a 5-6 combination, but well, she's laid herself almost perfect on it, just slightly too far. I cannot imagine her going for the combo, but it's a first rack. Maybe she's trying to set the tone.
Yeah, indeed, and it's winner breaks in this format. Best of 3 sets, races to 4. So getting out the blocks early gives you the upper hand. And SEOA looking to lock the cue ball up behind the 7. I'm not too sure she's done that, and in turn may have left a 5-9 combination on Tim. Not an easy one. Also, as you just saw WEI take her extension there, with players under a shot clock, they do have the opportunity to take an extension once per rack. She's really lining that up as tight as she can. I'm not too sure where the 5 will end up afterwards.
Oh, and that 5 ball's gonna dress up nicely over the corner.
Yeah, it was. That wasn't an easy combination at all, but was the only option that WEI had. She went for it full-blooded, and as you see there, the 9 just coming thick on the pocket, and that gives SEOA a good look in at this opening rack.
Well, long and straight on the 6, but guaranteed to have something on the 7. Might not be straight on the 7, but still she needs the angle anyways to cross over for the 8. So just a straight stop shot will do.
She's very controlled, methodical, seems to really hold her rhythm well, doesn't speed up as the pattern becomes a little bit more obvious.
Yeah, a little bit confusing actually for her. You could see that she looked at the shot clock as the 2 tables at the same time started to beep, one for the 5 seconds and this table for the 10-second warning. So glad she actually looked over on the screen to find out that she still had plenty of time to go down. And look at this, she missed that 8 ball.
Yeah, she was stretching, which made it a little bit more difficult, but you fully expected her to make that. Clearly needed to give it a little bit more to force the cue ball high of the 9. and in turn missed the 8.
Well, that's some very early drama for you all. A perfect shot for WEI. From the 8 to the 9, guaranteed to be on the 10 if she pockets the 9 in the side. Quite the back and forth already for just the opening rack.
Yeah. I've got a feeling we're going to be in for a thriller here, as WEI makes short work of the opportunity when she gets it, and takes our first rack in this race to 4 first set. Leads by 1 rack to 0. And winner breaks. So now we will get a look at WEI's break. And SEOA making a ball off of her break. I'm sure WEI will be wanting to do the same. Now, we are on a different table today, Tim. Yesterday, on the second stream table, we were finding that players were getting more success breaking from the right-hand side as we look at the table. Be interesting to see how table 1 is playing and feeling for the players, and which way the Chinese Thai player will take this on. It's been interesting. Yesterday we saw both success. Well, I certainly saw success from the centre and from the right-hand side of the table. For some reason, the left-hand side players were struggling to make balls off the break. Got to react to the conditions, I guess, Tim.
Yeah, we did see some pattern happen a bit with breaking from the left side, the side where WEI is breaking from. Did see the wing ball, the corner ball, the 5 going in the bottom left, but it was, I think it's just a matter of a certain position where the cue ball is, a certain hit on the ball and a bit of spin, because they were not hitting it. Like, she's now breaking from the side rail. I don't think it's gonna drop unless she hits it maybe a little bit inwards, but something we haven't seen before, honestly. That's happened quite often. Well, she makes one, and I think it's awful close. She might be on for the 1. For the 1 ball. For a second, I was not sure if she made the 1 or something else on the break, but it was the 3 ball going in. Will she have to play the jump?
I'm not sure. Her reaction looked like she didn't see enough of it. Is there a way she can just masse a fold as she gets around the 10 ball? Good view of how she's approaching the shot. But this is a tough...
It's a tough one, but if you play the masse, the cue ball's running towards the 7, right? And with the jump, at least it generates more of a stun on the cue ball to stay above the 6. Or under the 6, at least in this view. So she might be pushing. And I think this is interesting, because I don't think she's made the jump a lot easier. The jump is more difficult, going over the full ball. She does not have the angle to run towards the 2. The only thing is she put it straight instead of a small angle. So interesting push. Predator air rush in action.
She wasn't far away, Tim. I think she'd covered her shot on the 2 if she was successful, so... Still, both players not out of the woods yet. That 1 has come back up the table. And SEOA is having a good look at this, I believe. Well, she didn't, Tim. She turned it down and looking to play a safe by bringing the white behind the 1 ball behind the 10 and the cue ball behind the 8 and fallen short on both. Well, was she looking at calling the 10 in the centre bag there? In this format, you can win early.
Well, the one was going to the opposite long rail, like you could have played it to where you're just never going to sell out. She preferred the safety, but I think it was worth the risk, the slight risk.
I also think she looked at it as well, so clearly summed up her options and felt this one was better. But we have seen in the matches of this Little Monster Ladies International in the build-up to the semi-final some very interesting passages of play, with players looking to finish the rack early by playing a legal shot combination on the 10 to great effect, and it just adds a bit more excitement to the match. Well, if she'd have bumped that 5, that would have made this a very, very difficult shot for WEI, but as it is now, she has a very good look at the potting angle. It's a long pot. Wow, as you saw the look of concentration on WEI's face from the close-up there. She put everything she had into that and made it really well, and looks like she's come up high enough for the 2. The blue 2 into the centre. Just having a look at her options for the next shot. But that was a very, very nice opener for her account in the second rack.
She got distracted by the shot clock, but it's weird because she heard the beep on her table this time. She looked over, and then even she had 9, 8 running, she dropped down and did not call her extension. It's kind of a funny thing.
Yeah, it has happened in tournaments before. We did see it once yesterday. You may have been on the comms with me for that, for one of the Little Monsters Men's International Open, and just a bit of confusion when he was down on the shot from the beeps on this table, so they do sound the same. Had to play that one gently, Tim, to keep the cue ball in good shape for the 6. She's finished nice and straight on this. That won't do her any harm. And the 8, 9, 10 looking quite a nice position. So WEI looking to increase her lead here. SEOA hasn't done much wrong at all. Maybe a couple of overrun safety shots, but both players have been keeping things very tight, not just in this match, but in their matches in the lead up to making the semi-finals. We did say at the beginning of this match that it was going to be a bit of a nail-biter.
Well, maybe not the best of starts for So, but still a long way to go. How often have we seen players lose the first set and still to come back all the way?
She is navigating these very nicely. And this, to extend her lead in this first set. Race to 4 per set, best of 3 sets. There we have it, Tim. WEI extends her lead to 2 racks to 0. The final of this Little Monster Women's International Open event will be taking place later today. So please do set the reminders on your schedule. And if you are watching this on our live stream, Pro Billiard TV, please do like, subscribe and share. I notice with the subscription you can even get notifications on, which really helps. Sometimes some of the matches will carry on and just push later matches on a bit, so that will help you keep up to date with that. Also, you can visit the ProBilliardSeries.com website, where you'll get all the fixtures, updated times, table numbers. As Bandes from Serbia, our referee, gets us off to our 3rd rack. So we'll be looking to get herself on the board. But WEI will be looking to close out this first set. Makes 2 off the break, Tim, and to coin your phrase, that one ball has dressed up very nicely for her. There does look to be a couple of problems developing on the screen with the 6 and 4, which WEI's already having a good look at, so this is not a formality here.
Well, it's not even laying to a 3-6-4 combination, I believe. Looked like it was slightly angled. Possibly, though. I mean, there's a little bit of a gap between the 4 and the 6, so you could play 3-6-4 into the bottom corner, bottom left. She's looking at giving herself the angle to open up the cluster, which could work. Just it's easy to run with not enough or too much angle, always playing towards the side.
Did she bring the cue ball over far enough, Tim? She's having a good look at the angle she wants to develop off the 3. From this angle, it looks like it's quite straight.
And just a slight bit too thin onto the 6. Did not push the 4 ball over to the corner enough. So it's back to safeties.
Yeah, did very well to make contact with the cluster. Didn't come out with anything promising, but as you said, could be safety time. But where the balls are positioned, you feel like it's only the 6 ball that can help her out here.
probably the best she could have done.
Agreed. Does leave So with a good look at returning the favour and maybe just playing a similar shot with the 4 creeping up behind the 6, but that's such a delicate shot to play. No, I feel she needed to hit that a little bit thinner, Tim, and has certainly left a good chunk of the 4, maybe even enough for a kick and stick from where we're here. Well, I like the shot she played. It just wasn't executed correctly because that 4 looked like it could have gone behind the 10 and the 1 ball could have stayed behind the 6, but just looks like it hasn't come good enough. So back to the table with a good look at the 4 ball. A very nice solid hit to come back for the 6 and a little bit of an angle, Tim. Is that enough?
I would say it is. Yeah, definitely would be. She doesn't have to go all the way over though too. If she gets to the center of the table, is plenty to work with. Can play with inside spin, could play the 8 in the left center also. So plenty to work with.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for SEOA to get off the board. Well, these middle pockets, centre pockets on these beautiful Predator arc tables are not very forgiving. Needs to treat this one with care. May even go long down the rail, Tim.
Well, I think this will work well for SEOA, and I think it's also going to step her game up a bit in the semi-final. Kind of feel like we haven't seen too much from her yet. So pulling one back, SEOA.
Just a quick update for our other semi-final, which is taking place on our other TV table between the UK's Kelly Fisher and Austria's Yasmin Ushan. Kelly just taking a 2-1 lead in the first set there. So early days in this semi-final for all our players, as we just see a roundup of the shots. And so getting off the board, she trails by 2 racks to 1, but this is winner breaks format, Tim. She did win the lag and had the opening break. So this will be her second. Just to note, we have now all of our events underway. We have the Little Monster ladies, as we're watching here, also the Little Monster men's and Little Monster mixed doubles international opens. And today our Predator World Junior Championships kicked off. We've been getting to see the young guns coming through. Now it's the women's chance. And made the wing ball, Tim, with a look at the blue 2.
Yeah, potential run out in the making. If you look at later on, sure, the 8-9 is a problem with the 7 is nearby. She could choose to cut this and run the cue ball into the 4. To hold the cue ball.
And she managed to avoid that and bring the cue ball back across very nicely for the red 3. Just looking at the angle, she wants to be able to track back up off this 4 ball to the 5. Very nice touch.
Yeah, she's got the nice angle now to move up to the top right corner for a 5 and the 6 in the top left. Like I mentioned, could play the 8 in the bottom right, could also, with angle on the 7, nudge the 9. So there's definitely options, and this is to tie the score 2 each.
Yeah, as you saw from that great camera angle, the 8 clearly passes the 10. And where the 7 is situated, if she could finish straight on that 7, there's a good opportunity just to drop down in behind the 8. She's done just that, Tim.
Yeah, possibly the only bad position she could give herself is the cue ball frozen on the rail and dead straight on the 8, to where you're always running away from the 9. But she's going to do everything in her power not to.
She does have an angle. Will be flirting with the corner pocket down here, but you feel she will easily avoid that. And with a bit of running side, has kept the cue ball in the centre of the table nicely.
And perfect on the 10, so that means we will be tied at 2. Great break and run from So. Showing Wei that she's definitely in it to win it.
Indeed, a very timely break and run. And in the winner break format, good positive signs for So are there. And she really is metronomic around the table. Does not seem to get flustered by anything at all. And that is clearly held her in good stead to get her through to the semi-final. Just looking at the schedule coming up. The next matches to be played are at 5 o'clock local time. Mixed doubles action from the Little Monster, mixed doubles open. And then at 8 o'clock we will see the culmination of this Little Monster Ladies International Open event. Stay tuned, set your alarm clocks. But before then, let's enjoy this wonderful match between Wei and Soa. First set, 2 racks apiece. Well, got a lot of action off the break there. A couple of balls rattling in pockets. The 8 looked most promising, and the 5 did too, but nothing dropping. And we get Wei back to the table.
Yeah, look at this layout too. The only thing I can imagine being a challenge is to get from the 5 to the top side of the 6-7 to play the combination.
Yeah, I think she was just double checking that blue 2 past the 4. Because this is where she will be playing it. Yeah, short backswing. Not any room for any wiggles. And kept down on that shot, lovely. You're right, Tim. This is a very good opportunity for Wei here. So was just getting back into it and building some momentum. A good time to snuff that out in this first set.
Well, one thing that could be interesting is maybe she can play the 5 and run into the 6-7 or the 7-6 coming from below. More risky. There is the risk to stay stuck with the 7 ball, but might be a lot easier than trying to get back to the left long rail on the top side of the 6 and as much to the left as possible. Well, she doesn't have the biggest of angles to open up the 6-7. A bank shot on the 6 into the 8 is possible too, but I have to say that's already quite the risk. This might end up very long, very high up table. Low left. Opens up a lot from the second rail. Well, it's a bit short too. As you can see, if you track the cue ball all the way up, she would have been very far away from the combination.
She's still looking at the combination, Tim. Oh, she called the 8 ball in the side pocket, so gonna reverse cross bank this 6 by the looks of it. From the angle she's considering, that is high level of difficulty, Tim.
Well, that tells me that she was trying to get straighter on the bank shot actually. The 6-8 bank, and just ran too far. She's missed it. She's gonna settle over the side pocket. Look at this. I'm not gonna say it's a gift. There's always pressure, but the 6 and the 8 in front of the sides. Only maybe to get from the 9 to the 10. If you're trying to find something.
Yeah. And Wei had a very good chance there to slow down. So, because she's won the last 2 racks in a row and building some good momentum. That's a beautiful cue, Tim. as you said, Tim, needs to take a little bit of extra care for position on this 9. Does not want to be leaving herself straight, for instance. And center table is nice.
And yet it's still not easy to bring the cue ball all the way back straight on the 10. She might be going top left, put the cue ball near the center, near the side pocket on the left, taking a more of a cut on the 10. Oh, could be too low, could be too high. Perfect.
Whoa. Well,
that was a bit scary.
I was with you, Tim. I thought the safer option would have been to play towards the center pocket, because playing it that way, she was always running towards the 10 ball. However, kept that cue ball on a dime. And so SEOA has come back from 2-0 down to get to the hill in this race to 4 first set. She now leads 3 racks to 2 and is asking some questions of her opponent, WEI. This is great stuff, Tim.
Well, that was definitely one of the risks of taking on that 6-8 combination bank. The fact that if you would not make it, it would be, well, maybe not an instant sellout, but it was a very high percentage to leave that 6 ball on. And then SEOA to pick up the pieces. Well, she's breaking now, so SEOA for the win in the opening set. Makes the 1 and the 7. A possible 2-6 combination is needed.
Yeah, very good break, as we see from the replay there. The cut break, not only putting the 1 in the middle pocket, but it was chased in by the 7 as well. And as you said, Tim, not the easiest of combinations for her opener on the 2, but certainly worth attacking.
Well, feels a little bit like the bank WEI has played. Making this, you have a chance to win the set. Missing this, you might leave the set wide open for a hill opening set. She makes it. How was the nudge? Is this comfortable enough to bring the cue ball over top right spin to the 3 ball?
Well, the 7 ball went clean as a whistle, and the 2 ball came back off the cushion, ran into the 1. It looks from this angle that the cut is certainly on. However, at this crucial stage in the first rack, so might elect against this and choose to put her opponent in trouble. Was looking to float that cue ball up behind the 10. Doesn't look too happy with that. Did fall short. No clear open shot on the 2, but a very good opportunity for WEI to put her opponent in a spot of bother. Well,
you would say with just a stop shot, leave the cue ball on top of the 4. the 2 ball would go 2 rails above the 3. In that case, you would have the 8-9 or the 3 ball in between. From this angle, it's a straight stop shot. Not sure what she's looking at. She's trying to nick the 2 real thin and the cue ball above the 3 ball. Yeah, it's so easy to catch that thick. I mean, how often do you hit the ball precisely as thin as you need it? Difficult to tell how much this 2 ball is hooked now. How much is blocked by the 8-9.
No, indeed. The cue ball has gone up quite tight against the short rail as well, which makes cueing difficult for So.
Yeah, I think WEI missed the trick there on the safety on the 2. I understand the shot she's played, but finding herself in big trouble has to kick this in. Maybe with some pace to get on the 3 ball after. Predator Black Series in action. Nice close up. Does the 2 ball end up somewhat safe? I would not say so, Gath.
No, she made great contact on the 2. Was quite difficult. Had to put some running side on that to get around the 10. Did it with great success, but the 2 ball has come back across the centre line of the table. And this is certainly within So's range. And she's brought that cue ball round lovely, round the angles, given herself the right side on this 3 ball to be able to track the cue ball towards that 4. Would like to be as straight as possible on it.
Well, if the 8 is not that much available, she could have played 1 rail into the 8-9, giving it a little nudge. Guaranteed to be on the 4. Thing is, I find it very tricky to play from the 5 to the 8 in the top right corner. It's easy to draw too short or too long. Now everything may be fine. Maybe the 8 goes to the left center, then everything is okay. But from this angle, I would say it doesn't.
No, I agree with you. It looks quite tight to that 9. Although it did look available to the top right corner. This is where you pointed out So needs to be very careful with how much she draws the ball back here. Well, she's drawn it back nicely, but it's stuck against the long rail. Not too sure if that's too much of a problem, because you will not need to do too much with the cue ball here.
Well, she has solved everything perfectly. Look at how she's landed on the 9, and this is to close out the first set. She was down 2-0. She's put on quite a performance. Maybe made one mistake. A very solid performance. This 10 to get the first set on the board for SEOA. There it is. Quite sure we will have to see a timeout now. Yeah, timeout is called, so we will be leaving for a short little break, but we will be back with the second set very shortly, so make sure to stay tuned for Gaten Davis and myself, Tim de Ruiter. We will be back.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the beginning of the second set in this Little Monsters Ladies International Open semi-final. The first set being taken by SEOA by 4-2 after WEI took a 2-0 lead. So clearly the momentum with SEOA. However, second set, WEI gets to break. I'm Gethin Davis, joining me, my good friend and colleague, Tim de Ruyter.
Hello. Well, will be interesting to see what WEI can do to turn things around. She looked off to a great start, 2-0 up. But I'm not sure if you feel the same way, but it feels like all the momentum at the moment is with So, and just in many things. The break has been working for So a bit more.
Yeah, agreed. And the break working has allowed So to drive the first set through, converting a break and run as well. And WEI with another dry break. No real good look at the one for So. She would have the option to play a push if she wants to. It looks like she has elected to do that. And that will put her opponent in a position where she can take on the shot that she is left with or hand it back to SEOA.
Well, definitely one to take on. Cross corner bank has called, but definitely with the element of safety, rather hit it too thin than too thick, of course.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if there's a bit of insurance there as well, tracking the cue ball back up to this side of the table where she's playing it from now.
Yeah, and once again, the one ball is open. Difficult position to the two ball, but I feel if ideally you would land in between the 4 and the 2 where she is now, or near 2, 3, 4, pretty much available.
Yeah, and WEI played that cross bank in such a fashion that she kept the cue ball for the 2. She really fancied it. The 2 ball only has that bottom right corner pocket to go for. Ooh, and well, SEOA a bit unfortunate there. Has contacted the 5, and the 5 has leaked out to block shape on this 2. So we will see the South Korean going airborne.
Oh. Well, that surely has not worked out. Obviously, we're not able to know what she was trying to play there, but she caught the 2 ball very thick. Would almost consider her shooting the 2 off the 3 in the corner.
Yeah, she did make a good jump shot, had quite a distance to go as well. But this is a very good opportunity for WEI to set her stall out in this second set. And it's not a bad looking layout, Tim, at all. Just a quick update while we watch Wei Wei settle down for her shot on the 4 ball. An update from our other semi-final. Kelly Fisher has taken the first set against Yasmin Ushan. And they are getting into the thick of the second set now. A little look of concern from Wei Wei there. That cue ball was slowing down and threatened just to bring the 10 ball into play. However, it hasn't. And this is a very nice position she finds herself in here now. Ooh, Tim just needed that to run on a little bit, I feel.
Yeah, not impossible to run out from here, but definitely has made it a lot tougher. Cutting this, and you need the perfect tip position. Like, if you look from this angle, probably can play stun right. Was she drawing more, less right spin? The right spin also throws the 7 more to the short rail, so makes the aiming tougher. How is the cue ball? Oh, and how is the pace? She's landed on the short side. Was she playing the short side? Who knows? She's landed.
It worked out
great.
lovely. Yeah, it looked like she was just making sure of the pot, but no, lo and behold, she's put that cue ball in a great position for the 8 here. Coming round on the blind side. And this is the start that Wei Wei will have wanted, Tim. Needs to start getting her teeth back into this match. And a confident 10 from Tu Chin Wei there to take the first rack in the second set. Now, she did win the first 2 in the first set, and so SEOA came back to win the next 4. It would be very useful, Tim, if Wei Wei was to start making balls off the break as well. We could really be in for a thriller.
Well, the fact that both ladies have won Pro Billiard Series events, countless of high finishes in big tournaments, that fact does bring the two of these players a lot closer to each other. So I would not even be surprised the slightest if we would go to a deciding set, and who knows, a shootout.
Yeah, we have had a few shootouts on these TV tables over the past 4 days. Just to remind you, we're at the halfway point, day 4 of this 8-day event. All of our events are now underway. And the final of this Little Monster Ladies International Open will be taking place later tonight. There is a match in between the mixed doubles. So plenty of action for you at home, keeping you entertained. Wei Wei to break, leads by 1 rack to 0, but she trails by 1 set to 0. Well, there were a lot of balls threatening the centre pocket then, and one did finally drop the 8 ball. As you look there, there's the 9, the 8, the 5. But the 8 did drop, the 7 sits over the pocket. The 1 ball has a look at this. Sorry, the cue ball has a look at this 1 ball.
I would say I give her very high odds to bring the cue ball very close to the 6 ball. Well, I mean, the only thing she has to be careful with is if she banks the 1 ball out, that she doesn't touch the 6. If she touches a 6, it's horrendous, but perfect.
Absolutely. And the table isn't laying very nice for either player here. So if either one of them can hitch out a ball in hand, that would certainly change the shape of things. WEI putting So into a very tough spot here. Is there a 2-rail escape? Maybe just the 1. Well, it was the 1-rail escaped him, and she's just slid past this. And as I alluded to in my last comment, a ball in hand could really change the dynamics of this, especially as that cue ball has unclustered the 3-4. Great replay there for us. SEOA running the cue ball into that cluster has really opened up this rack. WEI has a very good look at this now.
Well, she's got a bit more angle on this 3 ball. And we both know how easy it is to lose the 3 ball after contacting the 7. If she catches it real first, the 3 might even slide under the 4. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect control on the 3 ball.
She made that look a lot easier than it was, especially playing it at such a delicate pace. Very, very nice stuff from WEI. Well, we saw WEI take a 2-0 lead in the first set, and that seemed to wake SEOA up somewhat. Will WEI be able to keep the momentum with her? She could screw back here. She could just follow through for a long 9. Has options. Punches it in with premise. The cue ball rolls over half a roll for the 9. She can let the cue ball do the work here. Taking her time over this 10 ball. It's a little bit trickier than maybe she would have wanted.
Yeah, and then once again, Gath, she does get that 2-0 lead. Can she hold it down all the way to the end of the second set? Because, oh, we did see that first set disappear into SEOA's pocket. Even though she was leading 2-0.
Yeah, exactly. As you saw there, though, WEI's safety play bringing her this opportunity. It wasn't the easiest of opportunities that she converted. Really good signs for her in her campaign in this second set. But as you have alluded to, Tim, yes, she has been in this position before in the first set. It's when it breaks, she will have the opportunity to keep the momentum. She does need to start making some balls off the break, I feel. And that may be the difference between the two players so far. Not much between them at all. So WEI to break, second set, leading by 2 racks to 0. She does trail 1-0 in sets.
Well, making a ball on the break now. A little bit of a pep in the step. The 8 flying in 4 rails. She's on the 1. The 2 ball does go to the left side, but that means she will have to play this 1 ball with top left spin into the top cushion to come back out. And I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it surely is missable. But what else is there to play? Maybe play for a bank?
Well, WEI has been very aggressive, and her offense has been paying dividends. But sometimes a good safety is needed. And sometimes it takes a bit of courage to be able to turn down the clearance for that option. And, well, that's going to be a tight cut in the middle pocket, I feel, Tim. I've not heard a call.
Well, she must have called the bank, right?
I heard her call the extension, but not a pocket, so, well, she's keeping us guessing, and our viewers at home, Tim. She does look to be eyeing up the angle for the bank, and if she can hold the cue ball or freeze the cue ball, the 3 is there, so good opportunity.
Well, another big shot needed from 3 to 4. I'm not sure why she's smiling. Did she draw that too much?
I'm not too sure, but she was having a little giggle to herself. Maybe just feeling the cue ball isn't doing exactly what she wants it to, but regardless of that, she's making the pots, and that's where the success will come from.
Wow. Just wow how well she hit that. Beautiful straight draw. She needs another draw here, I think. Maybe a slight bit of angle, but to come up with the bank is one. But you know the saying, the shot after an incredible shot is usually more difficult than the original, than the first one. You know, you always have to come up with the biggest shot after the trick shot.
Yeah, and sometimes there's a lot of adrenaline still running around in the body. And the endorphins You just got to be able to control that. Both these players, though, very steady around the table and not being rushed into anything here at all. Well, we'll be queuing over the 9 and 10 here. Doesn't need to do too much for the 7, so can really focus on the pot.
Which she has done very nicely. She could have also just tapped it in and took not so much care of the cue ball. But I like the fact that she still put a solid stroke on there. She's gonna do the same thing on this. She's not gonna baby the ball.
No, played very well. And in contrast to our first set, WEI looking to push on from her 2-0 advantage here in the second set. And you have to say, Tim, that is very nicely done. Wasn't the easiest of clearances, and as you saw with a chuckle to herself, WEI may not have been getting exactly what she wanted out of the cue ball, but that didn't matter. WEI takes this third rack in this second set to lead 3 racks to 0. And we have us an absolutely corking semi-final under our belt. And, well, it could go any way, Tim, and I'm not going to call it at all.
Well, let's see if we can have a little score update on the other table. Of course, it's also live on Pro Billiard TV, so if you cannot wait for my update, then make sure you have 2 streams open at the same time. Let's have a little look before WEI breaks off to possibly win the set. Kelly Fisher has won the first opening set 4-2 against Yasmin Ushan, but Yasmin now up 3-1 in the second. So very similar to this match.
Whoa, a lot of power in that break, Tim. A lot of balls threatening to drop, including the cue ball, but nothing has. And that will see SEOA back at the table. I did like your suggestion there, Tim, of having both matches open at the same time, but the question is, who would you want to listen to in the comms box? That's the only decision that would need to be made.
Well, don't give them that option, you know. It might not be well for us.
Well, powerful break. So has a good look at this one. Will be needing to play safe. There is a bit of traffic to help her.
Well, did not get the cover she was trying to get. WEI might be even going aggressive. Could draw Karam the 4 in case she doesn't find like a high percentage safety. She could go aggressive on it.
And
it's not like there's something obvious.
No. The scoreline being 3-0 up, it may give her a little bit of a bump in the direction of going aggressive. testament to the quality of WEI. I've just noticed her first title was back in 2011, where she won the Japan Open. So, a very seasoned professional. And she did, Tim. She went aggressive for the 4. The 4 did not drop. And I'm afraid that one ball has come back to the center of the table and has left So with a very good look. Just wondering if that expression was in regards to the 2 being open for the left corner pocket where the 5 ball is. Well, she's come this side of the 2. Oh, Tim, did you hear what I just heard?
Yes, someone's chasing. She's called a 10. Oh. Yeah, it was quite off the angle though.
Yeah,
Not impossible, but a difficult one. Barely missed it. And now, did she get somewhat of a lucky roll behind the 8?
It certainly looks that way. And WEI, looking at what angle and side of the 2 she wants to contact. She may have called that top left corner. Oh, and it wasn't far away. I think she did, Tim. Now, SEOA has a good look at this too. As we look there. Oh, there wasn't much in it. But there's a bit of traffic that she may run into off this too. Might have to dig in to avoid.
Oh, that cue was not going to go over enough. Well, it got over to where she has the cut, but she might be nicking the 3 ball to the left of the 4. Could even catch it slightly into the 4 to make sure the 3 gets slower. Cannot imagine her going aggressive here, especially being down 3-0.
No, and electing to go safe with a very delicate shot, bringing the 4 ball in between. It does open up an easy, well, I say easy, a one-rail escape. He feels that she'll have to go into this with a bit of pace to get the distance between the 2, and is going 2 rails around the 9.
Yeah, not enough juice on the ball, not enough spin. And ball in hand, possibly. Well, she's looking at the aggressive option. She could play the 3 ball out, 3 rails, and the cue ball behind the 4. Because where are you playing to if you put the cue ball in between the 3 and the 4?
You're
where are you
not
gonna play
getting
the 4?
back around.
I'm not sure why she's not playing on this. You're never going to stick the cue ball behind the ball. She actually played it to where I don't think she could have played it any better, but I'm not sure. I really like to bank the 3 ball out. It really opens up the rack a lot. If WEI can go 1 rail on this, then she's for sure not going to leave a shot on the 3 ball. Like, it's going to stick to each other.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying, Tim. She's going soft again. Oh, and that's 2 in a row. So playing a great safety shot there. Oh, that was so close, but well, a small contact may have pushed the 4 onto the rail, but there was always the concern that a rail wasn't going to be made either. And the South Korean appears to be going for 3 fouls.
Oh, she's rushed by the clock. Cue ball behind the 5, that's the target, but she has left it wide open.
Oh no.
And she had to do a lot more with the cue ball. Now this, not a hanger, but look at the 4 ball. Make the 3, you're guaranteed on the 4. Oh, she gins it. Beautiful stroke. And now a chance to close out the second set.
Yeah, that was a very, very nice pot. And that puts her into prime position to bring this match back to all square. That's exactly what she needs to do to stay in this match with a good chance. So, it looks like where the 10 and 8 have finished, it's not affecting the 8 ball. However, the 9 may be affecting the 6. So, Wei may need to put a bit of a stroke on this one.
Well, she could also play top left spin, a lot of left, and just land the cue ball in front of the side pocket on the rail. Take a bit more of a cut on the 6, but she's looking to go low, all the way up table.
Oh.
And if the 7 bumps the 9, out of the way, a bit more. No. Still, she's okay with the safety though, like she's got options. That would have been crazy if the 7 ball moved the 9 maybe out of the way.
Wei playing a delicate shot, looking to freeze the cue ball up against the 7, and well, it's actually bumped the 7 out of the way enough for SEOA to get a good look at the 6, and she may be looking to put Wei into a difficult spot here. And that will not do, Tim, I'm afraid. We're just having a look at the 7. It did move earlier on. It may have moved into a potting position. If it isn't, then Wei will have to put a good position shot in here. And as you can tell, it does pass the 9. It's a good opportunity here for Wei. Yeah, and that shot clock starting to breathe down the players' necks.
Oh, nice shot. Did not have the full pocket. Always scary, isn't it? Just as this 8 ball queuing over the 9.
Well, we saw her make some great shots in the last rack when it was called upon. Centre pocket, Tim. Wow.
Well, that's a set winner to me. Cannot really imagine things to go wrong from here. Could go top right, could play more of a stunt top. So many ways to play this. She played even plain ball. Straight in on the 10. This to get this match to a deciding set.
There we have it. Great play by WEI in the second set. A dominating performance. She's taken the second set by 4 racks to 0. And we have us a deciding set. Tim, I'm just wondering if that was SEOA just taking a quick break. If so, I think we should take a quick break. I would like to update my beverage for this thriller.
Yeah, I would say everybody should get their food and drinks out. Take a little bit of a break. In the meantime, have a look at the schedule. We've got plenty more to come for today. Gethin Davis and Tim de Ruiter. We are going to take a short break and we'll be right back with the deciding set.
Well, a welcome back to everyone to this final and deciding set of this thrilling semi-final matchup in our little monster Women's International Open between WEI and SEOA. And we have a thriller on our hands. My name's Gethin Davis. Joining me to bring this exciting final set to you, Tim de Ruiter. Welcome back, Tim. And SEOA gets us off to break in this third set. A quick recap. WEI went 2-0 up in the first set, So SEOA won the next 4 to close that out 4-2. WEI responded with a 4-0 herself to take us through to this deciding third set. As we see her break, another dry break for our players, and that will bring WEI to the table with a look at the 1 ball. Not anything decent for potting, but certainly decent for playing a safety.
Well, this safety behind the 8 should be quite alright. 2 rails, top left spin. How well has she done that? Taking away the easy route, the right long rail. Makes things twice as hard to make a solid hit on the 1 ball. So still has the other long rail though available, so could try and catch the top side of the 1 and separate the balls.
Just a quick interjection with an update from the other semi-final. It appears Yasmin Ushan has taken a hill thriller for the second set. Both players now at 1. Same situation as here. They will be coming back in a few moments for their deciding set. As we look at WEI going airborne, I believe.
Yeah, she
She's
has
called
called
the
the
8.
8. Sounds weird. I think if she makes this, she will have the shape on the 1. But look at how much space there was in between.
Well,
Not
I think she's
horrible, but we will see another hook probably.
Yeah, it was a really good jump shot, made good contact with the 1. Called the 8 as a bit of insurance. But sadly, the 8 didn't come to a rescue there and has left a good look at this 1. So SEOA looking to put WEI in trouble here. Well, I like that, Tim. There is not many ways to get around to this 1. I feel the only real way would be to jump. And with it being so close to that 6 ball, it's fraught with danger. And WEI has got her jump stick out. Looks like a Predator BK rush. I'm sure you can tell me, Tim.
Well, I'm quite sure it's the air rush, not the BK rush. She would be jumping
Sorry.
with a break here.
Yes, my mistake.
Anyways, she took the short piece off, making the cue shorter, easier for the closer jumps. She could see plenty of air and almost made it. But this time she's left it over, as you would say, over the bag for SEOA. But what is the plan on the 2? I'm expecting plenty more safeties. This is a big mess. For a second I was actually looking at maybe something with the 10, a 1-10 combination in some way, but imagine how she had to jump, imagine how much space she had to put on the ball, so didn't really feel like there was any option. She could just roll up on the 6, 1 rail in behind the 6.
Yeah, she did try to do that, Tim, but has not come close enough to the 6 and has given WEI a good look at the 1 cushion escape here. Calling the right hand side pocket. Ooh, actually
Yeah,
wasn't far away from it.
Ideal hit actually too, if you look at the separation. A bit unfortunate not to get the full cover. Definitely got the distance.
Yeah, and if the 2-ball had have gone in, left good shape on the 3. Yeah, needed the cue ball to come up behind the 10 there after the 2 has fallen slightly short. A good edge for WEI, and now she's inspecting the combination onto the 5. This would be a very attractive shot.
Oh, she went aggressive on the combo, and now this rack is open for the taking.
And SEOA is on the receiving end of 4 racks in a row from her opponent, so will be wanting to get in early here in the 3rd and final set.
Well, technically, she does have the momentum after winning the last 4. Could definitely stretch it out a bit more. You could even say she might be the favorite in this 3rd set, just because she's got the momentum now. She's definitely playing better.
Good deep screw from this from this 3-ball. Great camera angle. You saw how the cue ball picked up the check spin. Just wondering, Tim, would she be able to screw into the 8 here to hold the cue ball, or no, she'll be able to thread it through the gap of the 6 and the 8 off the long rail and back through again, perhaps.
Well, I like the screw into the 8, as you mentioned. But look at that soft stroke. She really kills the ball very nicely. I didn't think that was possible, honestly.
Me neither. She has a very depth touch. Good finesse.
Well, definitely a great chance for SEOA to kill that big momentum WEI has going. Top left spin on the 7, tracks straight down to the 8. This should be a must run out, but we've seen crazier things going wrong.
No, I do agree with you, Tim. This is a very important part of the match for SEOA. Great look at the focus there on SEOA. And she brings that cue ball nicely back into the center of the table for this 10-ball, and more importantly, to get her account underway in this 3rd and deciding set. Which she does, Tim, and, well, this is the first time in the match that SEOA has got off first. So will this shape up to be a different kind of set than the ones we've seen before? Well, that will be to find out. But as you see from the replay there, after the break, the balls were not looking pretty at all. And now SEOA has got off first. So will this shape up to be a different kind of set than the ones we've seen before? Well, that will be to find out. But as you see from the replay there, after the break, the balls were not looking pretty at all. And now SEOA has got off first. So will this shape up to be a different kind of set than the ones we've seen before? Well, that will be to find out. But as you see from the replay there, after the break, the balls were not looking pretty at all. So both our South Korean and Chinese Taipei player had to tussle it out. On this occasion, SEOA, the victor. She leads by 1 rack to 0 in this deciding set. And just to give you a quick update on the other table. Oh, well, they're just kicking off the third set. Kelly Fisher taking the first rack there. So very similar matches on both tables. I'm sure just as exciting. But both girls eager to get into the final, which will take place later today at 8 o'clock local time. The Arcos balls.
Does make the 4-railer on the 4. Shape on the 1. 2 is available. And I do believe the 3-5 combination is makeable. There's a slight angle in it. I mean, it's not straight in, but it all depends on the shape probably you give yourself. I'm sure she'll try to take this with both hands. Take the opportunity.
Yeah, indeed. And the only, as you pointed out, the 3-5, the potential sticking point here.
Now, it is kind of difficult to bring the cue ball very close to the 3-5. She will have to check the cue ball with right spin, staying away from the 6. That's the best she could have done. Thing is, in this combination, the 3 ball might go a bit wild. It's most likely going to bank. And when I say bank, it's going off the 5 into the rail, coming back out. Probably in front of the right side pocket or towards the right long rail. She's playing quite high ball on this. She trying to bump the 3 ball again. No, she did not take care of the 3 ball.
No, and she would have been fully aware of the sort of trajectory the 3 ball was going to take after that. And well, there would be an aggressive shot of the bank, but getting position on the 6 would be difficult, and more importantly, the 8 is in the way.
But if you can play safe like this, then who needs to play shape after the combination? What a beautiful cue ball she's played there. I mean, obviously it's one of the skills, right? When you're not too great at the extra stuff, but as long as you keep making balls or sticking the cue ball somewhere, you can get real far in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And safeties of that quality can keep the toughest of opponents at bay. I really do like how she played that. And that is testamented by the amount of time WEI is needing to take over this. Now, is she looking at the 1 rail around the 8? Oh!
Wow. Just wow. That was probably the only shot she really could have played, besides cutting it in, of course. She's hit it absolutely perfect. And when I say perfect, this is... I don't think she could have done anything better on that.
No,
Fabulous
my knees went weak.
Shot from
my knees went weak at that shot, Tim.
Well, we might see another beauty coming in with left spin, changing the angle.
Oh.
Oh, did she leave the gut. She's not showing us anything on the face. We need more. Give us more.
Give us more. Wei Wei is crouched down to survey that.
Oh, it must be close. I mean, in case you are not sure, you can still kick at this ball and leave the cue ball behind the 6, but I don't think it does go. So safety behind the 6 it is. Just like that.
3 very nice shots from both players. Great tussle of safety play. Clearly this third set meaning the world to both of them. This is great stuff, Tim.
Does that 3 ball go all the way to the bottom short rail? I don't think so. This is a chance for Wei Wei. I think she was trying to catch it half ball and sending the 3 ball at least down table. Did not really have much to get lucky behind, as there's only the 10 down table there. So somewhat of a tricky position to play though, to get to the 6.
Certainly not straightforward, Tim. Oh, she tried to thin it, I feel, to avoid the 10, and in doing so, she puts her hand up to acknowledge that she's maybe got a bit of luck on her side there, but that won't matter. So SEOA is in a tough spot.
Yeah, now looking at a 2-rail kick. 3 ball could indeed land nicely. Something good could happen between the 7, 8, 9. Oh, she's caught it a bit thin. This is a better opportunity than the last one for Wei Wei.
This is. Well, how close is the cue ball to the long rail? You feel Wei Wei's going to need to dig down on this cue ball to get the action to bring it up towards the 6. That makes this shot a smidge more difficult.
Oh,
great
such a
contact.
confident stroke. Jacking up the cue, jacked up draw. And she's left the most ideal angle on the 6 she could have given herself.
Well, this second rack of the final set proved to be a pivotal one. So SEOA having an opportunity to take it to 2-0, but as it is now, we see Tu Chung Wei with a very good look at bringing it back to 1 apiece. Never easy running into other balls. Made that look rather simple. And now leaves herself a stop shot for the 10. And Wei Wei will get this score back to level in the final set. And this is going to keep us guessing right up to the end, I feel, Tim. Great closeout by Wei Wei there at a key time. Both players did have chances there though, Tim, so really just that poor result from the combination from SEOA, and we find ourselves all level. the deciding set in this winner break format. Wei Wei will get the break, but this is getting more tense and more tense as this match progresses, Tim. If anything, Wei Wei hasn't had the best of breaks, but she certainly turned it on in the second set, and maybe the breaks are just starting to turn around for her as well.
Oh, can you believe what just happened? Can you believe what just happened? Look at that cue ball.
I don't think I've seen that before, Tim. That is incredible. Referee won't dare touch it.
Well, the funny thing is that I do believe it's a foul, but that is just unreal. Honestly, I've seen this happen in practice, but I don't think I've ever seen that in a semi-final of a major. I mean, this is a major tournament. Look at this.
I'm making a note of that for the highlight reel, whether we like it or not. Well, joking aside, SEOA gets ball in hand with a very good look at this third rack in the final set. No real problems. She can maneuver good position on this three. You feel this run out will open up for her, Tim.
Yeah, in some way it's kind of funny what just happened. On the other side, I'm very sure that Wei Wei won't be smiling too much, as in the end it was a ball in hand to be given away with a wide open layout.
Yeah, and SEOA leaving an angle on this four. May come across long rail, long rail. Would like it. I was going to say would like it to slow a bit. And it has done it. Yeah, she's taken this opportunity very well, Tim. She has fallen straight on this six, but that's not a problem. Just needs to bring it back a few rolls to ensure the nine doesn't come in to spoil the party. But after an unusual situation from Wei Wei's break, resulting in SEOA's getting ball in hand, she's picking these off very nicely, Tim. This is good stuff at a key point in the deciding set.
Yeah, perfect shapes, perfect angle on the 9, drop the 9 in, guaranteed to be on the 10. Some like to play this with just plain draw, no right spin. Some like to hit the bottom short rail and open up the angle, widen up the angle. She's even held it nicely. She's really feeling the table speed.
She is, Tim, and it's great to watch both of these players when they get into their stride. However, one thing which has made it even more interesting is their safety tussles, as we see that cue ball from the break nestle nicely on the felt, but up on the cushion, and a bit of a laugh. And quite rightly, you pointed out, Tim, the laughs aside, it's a very serious situation when you're giving ball in hand to your opponent at critical points in the game. So SEOA gets back into the lead by 2-1 in this final set, and we'll get the break, Tim.
Well, needs the 9 to go. 9 goes 4 rails, but look at this cover again. The one ball wide in the open, but no future. Cue ball stays on the table this time, though.
Yeah, and both players starting to get into the break a bit more, making balls, and then it comes down to what are you left with? The South Korean here not having any luck with her opening shot, look-see, so it's having a bit of a look around the table to see if there's a good position to push to. She elects to pot the blue 2 and leave a gap, I think, for the 1. So we may see WEI taking this on and not giving it back to SEOA. She looked a little bit surprised there at the fact it went in.
Well, she definitely, if she cannot hit it straight into it, which I think she can, she definitely has the one real kick as well. Yeah, it's gonna catch the right side, trying to bring the cue ball back underneath the 5-8. Oh, she's caught it real thick. Needs the cue ball to run. It hasn't. She might honestly be a bit lucky not to leave a route for the cue ball for shape to the 3 ball. As you can see, the cue ball will most likely go straight into the side pocket. I don't think she can draw this away, but she will be tucking the cue ball underneath the 3-4. Showing great patience.
Yeah, not wanting to give anything away at this stage of the match. A good safety here will really help SEOA. She's called the bank, maybe as a bit of insurance. But never in doubt that she was going for that safety and has played it very well. Full ball cover. We'll see WEI going airborne, I believe.
She's been jumping well. Not this time. The ball in hand could be a very costly one. There could be 2 ball in hands in this deciding race to 4. Now WEI a chance. Oh no, excuse me. SEOA a chance to bring herself on the double hill. Now look at this for a layout. I don't see any problems. It's slightly connecting the dot, and even then the only thing that could happen here, Gath, is probably just pure pressure, hitting the arm, striking the arm.
Where the balls are so close together, grouped up on the bottom half of this table, does also suit SEOA's gameplay. She's very delicate with her shots. She does get a lot of action out of the ball with not much effort. But as you pointed out earlier, she does get good control of the cue ball with such delicate shots.
Not sure how much of an angle she has on the 5. Would like to stun over a ball or 2 to get straighter on the 6. A little bit queuing over the 10, but indeed should be perfect.
This is a great opportunity, as you said, Tim, to get to the hill in this deciding set. As you alluded to, a double hill, in the sense of, if WEI were to come back, we'd be going to a shootout. Just stretching a little bit here, Tim.
Yeah, we did see her miss an 8 ball very early on in the match, being stretched like that, but not this time. Looks to be in pure control. Can she handle the nerves and get herself on the hill? Well, she's not straight. Dug a little deeper into the 8. Should be okay though.
She does, Tim. And so SEOA gets to the hill first in this deciding set. She now leads by 3 racks to 1. We'll be now asking the questions of Tsu Chim-wei, and you would say 1 foot in the final. Just to bring you an update from our other semi-final being played on our stream table, Kenny Fisher has come out in the 3rd set and takes a formidable 3-0 lead. She finds herself on the hill. Yasmin Ushin of Austria with a big hill to climb there. She's been in these positions before, I'm sure. So action on both tables here, as you just see the schedule for the rest of today. Following this match, we have the Little Monster Mixed Doubles International Open getting back underway. We're already getting into the middle stages of that. And the key one on that schedule, following the doubles, we will have the Little Monster Women's International Open Final. And which one of these 2 players will we see representing? So SEOA to break. Makes a ball, Tim, but has not fallen nice on the 1.
Well, they really have not been getting a lot of shapes after the break either. At times when they were finally making balls, which makes everything feel like such a big of a struggle. And it's, well, it is pure luck, of course, a bit depending on how well you place the cue ball, but she'll have to play another push out, maybe to a jump.
Yeah, that looks like what she's doing. Or is she pushing it into the gap? Well, she feathered the cue ball right up against the short rail. There's a small little gap between it and the rail. More importantly, there's a big gap between the 7 and the 6. And WEI not giving this back to SEOA.
Well, definitely we'll have to play the bank on the one. Bring the cue ball back all the way to the top left of the table. Not trying to make the bank, more of a push the 1 ball 2 rails over to the bottom left. It's like a 1 pocket shot. Just got to be aware of the double kiss. The cue ball comes off the bottom short rail. Doesn't want to meet again. Oh, she went aggressive on the shot. Oh, wow. And how close did she get? That was a fantastic effort. Never expected her to go aggressive on that.
No, and as you look from the replay there, the line was perfect. If anything, it was just the pace that kept it out. And clearly, WEI needed to put a lot of premise on that shot there to get the cue ball back round for any shape on the 3. The 1 did hang around the corner pocket somewhat, though. Oh, that turned out very nice, Tim. Got a nibble on the 3, then into the long rail, popped into the 9. Looks to be going, a few rolls seems to be going her way as well, which will only help. Now, gonna have to do something to get around, to maybe play the 4 in the same pocket. If not, she'll have to leave it long, and that's what she's done, Tim. We'll be running into the 9, you suspect.
Oh, needed a bit more of a nudge on the 5. How well does she feel? Is she able to still cut this and run the cue ball 2-3 rails around the 6? Or does she not favor herself? Does she play safe? Does she has the bank also. She might be looking to drop the cue ball to the top of the 9. Very conservative play, but would say very effective as well.
Yeah, that was a very, very thin cut if she were to take it on. Had to come up with a good safety shot, which she has done. She's done this on quite a few occasions to WEI. Oh, she nearly makes it as well, Tim.
Yeah, but this was definitely one of the good things that could have happened when you catch it just a tad too thick. She could not have played it any better besides making the ball, of course. And this shot really makes sure that WEI is staying alive in this set. Beautiful two-rail escape.
Some of our astute viewers may have heard the applause in the background there from our other semi-final match. It looks like that's a result now. And Kelly Fisher has bested Yasmin Ushan by 2-1. So she's the first player into the final, which will take place later today. 8 o'clock Spanish time. It's about 3 hours, just under 3 hours from now, so please set that in your diary. WEI not far away from making that 5 in the middle pocket. Instead, that has not fallen too shabbily for SEOA, and this could be the opportunity she needs or has been fighting for.
Yeah, what can go wrong? Maybe the pace from 7 to 9. Needs to bring the cue ball back near the spot. Oh, she's perfect. This is for a place in the final. Winner of this match guaranteed, I believe it's a little over $12,000. Loser will have to settle for a bit over 6,500. Not a bad payday either. This is for the win. And it's there, so SEOA who advances to the final, meeting Kelly Fisher. What a performance, what a match in general. I mean, it was really difficult to pick a winner from the beginning, and I think it stayed like that all the way till the end. Great match from Su Chen Wei and SEOA, of course. So my thanks goes out to Gaten Davies for being here with me in the booth. Myself being Tim de Ruiter, and we still have 2 matches to come for today. We are a little bit behind schedule, but I'm quite sure we will be back very shortly with our next match for today. And don't forget, the women's final is tonight at 7 p.m. So I would say we would love to see you back in a bit.